Year 2025. Year 2025 starts off well for work, projects, and goals of a certain magnitude. Thanks to Saturn, a friend until May and then again in September, you will be able to direct your energies towards the initiatives that are closest to your heart. You will be able to consolidate your position, achieve greater stability, change some situations, and obviously for the better. Relationships, on the other hand, could give you a bit of a hard time. Right from the start, with Mars in Cancer, until mid-April, you could notice some difficulties, perhaps due to jealousy, yours or your partner's, or caused by family or domestic problems. It won't be easy to find a meeting point with others, so you will have to learn to distinguish when it is best to insist on a position and when it is better to let it slide. When, in February, Venus moves into Aries, things could get complicated, career and family could collide, and making everyone happy will be really difficult. Address any problems immediately, because in the summer Saturn and Neptune in Aries could cause doubts, complications, confusing circumstances, especially in family relationships, in matters related to the home or finances in general. If emotions and desires should slip out of your control in that period, stop, breathe, and whenever you can, give yourself healthy moments of rest. Love and Eros. On the one hand, there will be Saturn in Pisces and Uranus in Taurus to guarantee stability, the ability to renew, positive news for the sentimental sphere. On the other hand, Mars in opposition until April and Venus in Aries between February and June will be responsible for insecurities, doubts, jealousy, some moments of discouragement. However, Venus, thanks to its retrograde in Pisces, from the end of March to the end of April, will bring positive news, which could concern both singles and those in a relationship. The planet could favor the return of an old flame or the meeting with a person with whom you can share elective and spiritual affinities. Those in a relationship, on the other hand, could start talking about important projects, living together, getting married, or find themselves with a particularly enveloping and sweet partner. Jupiter, the planet that dispenses optimism and luck, will enter Cancer in June, a transit that will significantly influence the themes of family, marriage, moving house, and transfers over the next 12 months. For many Capricorns, 2025 could be the year of orange blossoms, but also of the possibility of starting a family or starting to live together. However, with Jupiter in opposition, for the second and third decade in particular, emotions could be a bit up and down due to some arguments and disagreements with family members or superiors. Work and achievement. In work, 2025 promises to be a precious and important year to consolidate your professional position, those situations that were struggling to get going or authoritatively conquer important positions. For this reason, the first semester could be dedicated to commitment, planning, and evaluation of ideas that are in the process of evolving but that need to be refined, revisited, or better tested. The opposition of Mars, however, will require a little attention from you, because you could risk making errors of assessment or slipping into stress. In March, in particular, with Mercury in Aries, you will have to be careful of mix-ups and misunderstandings, the result in some cases of a somewhat hasty communication. Neptune will also pass through Aries at the end of March, and then Saturn at the end of May, which together will give life to a conjunction aspect, a transit that prepares the beginning of the big cuts to be made in the existential areas of your life that have had their day. In some cases, these are clear cuts that will identify new paths to travel and old paths to conclude. The transit, however, will not refer to all the decades, only those born in December will experience this astrological passage, important for the changes it proposes, but also complicated from an internal point of view. Some situations will require a little patience, because they will first have to be understood from the inside and then modified from the outside. To better deal with doubts, insecurities, and moments of discouragement, it will be important to monitor internal dialogues and clear the mind of those thoughts that do not help you progress. Body and mind. This 2025 will not be one of the best years in terms of physical fitness and energy. Mars, in fact, will not often be your ally, and especially in the first months of the year, it could subject you to some highs and lows in energy, nervousness, tiredness. The first part of 2025 could also be a little stressful in terms of time management, given that working hours could be longer and the pace become more frenetic. Whenever you can, try to carve out a little space for daily pleasure, to do what you like best or to cultivate your personal interests. By doing so, you can ease tensions. If you belong to the first decade, however, the planets that will give you the most trouble are Neptune and Saturn in Aries, a transit that will ask you to intelligently manage your strengths and that could also translate into a tendency towards pessimism, confusion, uncertainty. To stem the energy of the two planets, try to dedicate yourself to organized activities and often take stock of your coherence. And keep a diary. This way, it will be easier for you to monitor your internal dialogues and understand what the feeling of confusion wants to tell you. In September, Saturn will return to Pisces and will be in trine to Jupiter, a truly positive astrological passage that will help you make the necessary changes to allow you to achieve your goals. You will feel more stable with the right centering and focus. Many obstacles will be surmountable from the end of September onwards, when Mars will move into Scorpio, favoring initiatives, even the somewhat risky ones, passion, eros, physical fitness in general, personal safety.